Welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy Poole and I'm the host of The Moment on Real Estate Social, where we explore and celebrate the necessary transformational process one must go through to achieve a high level of success. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great guest. We have Kari Scott. She's one of the best top producing agents in the entire nation. Kari, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Kari, as you know, the show is called The Moment. What would you consider or characterize as being a moment or a series of moments that have allowed you to do what you do in the space of real estate and do it so well?
Well, probably my mom was probably a moment when I was a child. She sat me down. We had just moved into our house. I was maybe third or fourth grade. And she said, I want you to know that you can do anything you want to do if you really, really want to do it.
Wow.
And she said, don't let people say no to you if you really believe it's what you want to do. And she said, you have all the power. It's up to you to do the work to create the results.
Phenomenal. Sounds like a great mom.
And she's a realtor.
Oh, she's a realtor.
Yeah.
Okay. Even better.
Yeah, she's been a realtor 42 years.
Yeah.
And when I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay.
As a kid, I would have lemonade stands.
Yeah, me too.
And we would do shows in the backyard, and I was in third grade, and I would sing, the Cher song from the Sonny and Cher show, and that my parents would watch and invite the neighbors to come and pay a quarter to come and go to the show. And
love it.
And then I started my own business just right out of school, and I had an event planning company, and I had a gift party card balloon flower store that I did for years, and I sold that in '97.
Oh, really?
And my husband said, well, it's doing so well, it won the Small Business of the Year award, and I'd gone through many things to figure out that when it became successful, I was going to move on. And my mom said, well, what are you going to do now? And I said, well, I don't know. I sold into two different companies, and which one is still around today, all these years later. And she said, well, why don't you come work with me? I said, oh, no, you work way too much. I was a kid of a realtor. She's been a realtor 43 years.
43 years.
Yeah, I've been a kid of a realtor since I can remember, and I thought, no, I don't think I want to do that. She says, well, I think you'd be really good, and why don't you just try it? And if you don't like it, you can not do it. And so I thought about it, and I wondered what my options were going to be. I had two small kids at the time. And I went to her and I said, I think I'll try it. So I got my license.
Yes.
And she had me open her first open house, and I sold it. And I subsequently sold 8 houses in 10 weeks.
Wow.
And I went back to my mom and I said, I think I like this. I think this might be a fit.
I think you're onto something.
And it's kind of been a long roll ever since then. I mean,
sure.
I had a nice false start because then the work began after I sold the first 10 houses to sustain and keep it going and create systems and a database and people that support you and people that know you support them.
Yeah.
And it's been 17 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, in those 17 years, I understand that you've been with John L. Scott the entire time.
The entire time.
Talk to me about that. I mean, because I obviously have the show, and I have the pleasure of talking to a lot of really successful people in the space of real estate, and I don't think any of them have been with the same company for 17 years. What makes John L. Scott so great that they've kept your attention?
Probably when I was a small kid, I went to Lennox Scott's wedding with my mom because she's been there for so long. And it's my name, it's her name, it's the company name.
There you go.
People know me by that name, and I really like who I work for. I've known Lennox like most of my life since I was just a young girl at his wedding. Yeah. And it's just been a really good company to me. I believe in the company. I like knowing who I work for. I like the systems. I love our broker, Tyler and Marguerite. And
yeah, they're phenomenal.
I really love our office, and maybe I'm a creature of habit, but they keep innovating and changing, and it just works for me.
So on that subject, you've been with the same company for 17 years. How has things changed or evolved over that period of time?
Well, technology for one.
Right.
Everything's real time, instant. Cell phones have gotten a lot smaller. Computers have gotten smaller, and everybody wants everything right now. So you've really had to keep up with the times. With innovation and technology, just so that you can respond the way you need to take care of your clients and still have a life for yourself.
Right. Great answer. So it's my understanding that 2017 has been a phenomenal year for you.
It's been a good year.
It's been a good year.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you in 2018?
I think more.
Just more?
Yeah.
More of the same?
I think more. I've had my assistant with me now for 16 years.
Okay.
And I just have a good team of people behind me and good support. My daughter has come in as a second assistant to my assistant.
Right.
So we're kind of taking the legacy in the family, hopefully getting her to go full time with us. I just think at this point I'm at the top of my game. If I haven't learned by now, and I keep learning every year more and more things,
Yes.
but I think it would be hard to be a new agent in this market because it's so complicated. When I started, the contracts were 8 pages. Now the average contract is like 24 pages.
Right.
So there's just a lot to know, and I
There's a
think
lot to know, yeah.
people don't know what they don't know, and that's why they need a realtor.
Yes.
Because they think this is so easy. We drive around in our big black SUVs, and we wear nice clothes, and we live in nice houses, but they don't realize that it's kind of a 24/7 job.
It is.
Can be.
Yes.
And you need to have systems in place so that you can give every client the same experience every time through, so that they're so excited and delighted about what you did for them that they can't wait to tell their friends and family that they need to call you. And that's why 99.9% of my business is all based referral.
I was just going to ask you that. How do you pull that off? That's pretty high.
Well, there's probably 2 good answers. My mom started me this way because she's worked, I said, Mom, are you going to retire? And she says, no, I just work with who I like, and I just answer the phone because after this many years, people just call her.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it works for her, and for me, the one man that changed my real estate life, and I went to see him the week before I got my license, is Brian Buffini.
Oh.
And I follow the Brian Buffini system, and I've been coached every other week for 17 years. And my husband says, why do you keep paying for coaching? You must know it by now. And I'm like, well, either I'm a slow learner,
right.
or the real reason is because I'm like a tank of gas, and when I'm empty, I need to get filled up.
There you go. There you go. Well, this next question I think I know, and I think anybody watching this knows as well. Who's your role model?
Well, probably my mom that started me in this.
Right.
See, you knew that.
Right.
And then second would be Brian Buffini. And third would be my clients, because they're so supportive of me. I just feel like I can't give enough to them. I'm having a party here at the office next week where for the last 17 years I've gone off and delivered loaves of pumpkin bread to all my favorite
That
clients.
sounds delicious.
It is delicious, but our traffic's so crazy. It takes me like 11 days, 8 hours of driving a day. So this year I decided to change it up because we constantly have to change things up in real estate.
You do.
So this year in our beautiful conference room, I have at least 50 to 75 clients that have RSVP that are coming to me.
That's
and
impressive.
I'm giving them pies. They can still have the bread if they want, but I'm
Right.
offering them pies I call it my happy thanks pie giving event. And so they'll come, they'll have drinks and food and a high and a hug and a pie.
Yeah. And so this is something you do every year? Or?
I do lots of parties.
Oh, you do lots of parties. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you can start inviting me some.
Absolutely, I'm happy to. I have what we call my client appreciation program, where I'm in constant contact with my clients on a monthly basis.
Okay.
And I usually do a few events a year just to create community where
Sure.
they've become friends and now they do things together, because your clients,
that's cool.
you want them to be walking, talking billboards
You do.
for you and what you do. Because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of discount houses out there that are saying you can do a real estate transaction from the palm of your hand, and I don't believe that. I don't think I can go on YouTube, watch a root canal, and then go do one myself.
Probably
There's
not.
way more to it than you think, and they don't know what you know. They just don't know.
Well, speaking about that, I was doing some research on you, and all good stuff. What do you mean by Nordstrom Quality Service?
Well, I used to work at Nordstrom's years ago, around when I was in school.
All right.
And Nordstrom's, no matter what, had a happy, smiling face, and you always knew they were willing to serve.
Absolutely, it's one of my favorite stores.
Mine too. Like, their return policy is fantastic. Their selections are great, and I just wanted everyone to feel like they have that experience.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Well, Kari, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for
I really
having me.
appreciate it, and thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week.